Coming up on this very special edition of Minecraft Me, we go in depth with you, the viewer, listener, and patron of Minecraft Me. We really wanted to hear from you, so this week we decided to do a Town Hall Minecraft Me special where we took your questions from the chat room, community, TeamSpeak, and more. All that coming up next.
This is Minecraft Me, a show that is about Minecraft, where we bring you some of the most awesome tutorials on the internet, reviews of mods and pack picks that you can use when you play. We take you on awesome adventures, all with Chase and Joe.
Minecraft Me is brought to you by viewers and listeners like you on Patreon. That's right, patreon.com is a place where you can go and support Minecraft Me for as little as $1 per month. And when you do that, you help keep this show on the air. Head over to patreon.com/Minecraft to support Minecraft Me. Hey guys, welcome again to another edition of Minecraft Me. This is the show that is entirely about the game from Mojang called Minecraft. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an expert. We'd like to walk you through this awesome building blocks game. Thank you for joining us for this very special episode. Now, if you're downloaded this show and you're expecting some Minecraft gameplay this week, you're not going to receive any. And the reason being is, we've been doing this show now for just over 2 years. And we want we might want to change some things up on the show. And before we do anything, we want to come to you guys, the community. And so we advertise this a short time before the live show. And this is why you want to watch us during our live shows, because you never know when you have a chance to be the star. So this week, we're going to be really interacting with you guys, members of the chat room, members of the community, and our TeamSpeak channel this week, because we really want to hear from you about the show, the server, the community. It can even be GeekGamerTV related. It really doesn't matter. So you have all these different options available, and I really hope you join us. Now, if you missed it, obviously, and you're watching this on the recorded side of things, you can still submit your feedback to us, minecraftme@geekgamer.tv. So don't feel like you're left out if you didn't get a chance to submit. My name's Chase Nunes. Joining me this week is my very good friend, guide, teacher, and been there for a long time, even outside the realms of this show, Mr. Joseph Albee. Hey, Joe. How are you, man?
Hey, good.
How was your week?
Busy.
Busy? Getting ready for a certain date in April?
Yeah.
I bet.
April 8 is the drop dead date for Windows XP.
And to be fair, I know that you probably have raised this issue. You and your bosses have raised this issue because you work for a municipal government.
Yeah.
But I know governments tend to like to move very, very slowly in certain areas. Did they move
in
slowly
our case,
for you?
it's not that we're moving slowly.
Okay.
It's that everyone says, "Oh, we don't have any money for those computers," until it's their computers that are not working or are no longer allowed on the network because they're still running Windows XP.
Right.
So yeah, it's not really a case of, because we try to get things done as quickly as we can. I've had stuff that I've got requests for at the beginning of the week, and I'll have it ordered by the second or third day, and we'll have it by the end of the week. In this case, it's saying, "I'm sorry, we're not going to put that money aside to replace these computers and these police cars. We're just going to wait 13 or 14 years until they are not only no longer supported, but even Microsoft is going to wipe their hands of the issue unless we give them
a lot of money,
huge truckloads of money."
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where we are right now.
Gotcha. It's
going to be an exciting week. That first week of April.
Don't worry, you guys. This is not going to be a show about Windows XP this week. But it's going to be a lot of talking. It's going to be a lot of dialogue. But this is a chance. This is one of the things that, I think we need to do every once in a great while, where we come back to you guys in the community and really get receptive ideas and begin a dialogue. One of the things that I've always wanted this show to be is community supported, not just financially, but in forums, in chat, in Twitter and Facebook, in many different areas, in the game itself. and really to not be just about Minecraft, while this show is about Minecraft, but really about a gaming community that looks out for each other, has fun playing games, and embraces how cool they can be. Getting to the point about community involvement and support, one of the things that this show is, unfortunately, we can't do everything for free, is that the show costs money to produce. It costs money in the sense of we have a public server that we let you guys join for free, and you guys can build to your heart's content in a nice, safe, and fun and welcoming environment. Also, it costs money to have a place to have the Minecraft Me files and the server, the forums to be, and the TeamSpeak to go, and to have a nice, quick connection when you want to download the latest episode. So I want to remind everybody, if you haven't had a chance yet to get involved, to try to get involved with this, and this is a Patreon. This is our Patreon for the Minecraft server. Not just the server, but the entire show. If you head to patreon.com/Minecraft, you can get on board right now before the end of the month. And the reason why you want to get on board before the end of the month is that is when the perks start kicking in. That's when the cards get charged, so to speak. And then I'm going to start contacting all these people. There's 16 patrons right now, and you guys rock. We are up to $163 a month. We are very, very close to our first milestone goal, which is Aziz Light. Now, I might adjust these goals, because if we don't increase these fundages, what I'm going to do is, instead of take that money, and unfortunately, Joe, I might take that money, instead of putting it towards your lighting, I might just put it all towards the server. And I might have to. Yep. So, all I ask from you guys is this. If you enjoy the show, if you enjoy the community, if you enjoy what we try to do every single week on this show, in the forums, if you enjoy the moderators, if you enjoy what we're trying to do, consider becoming a patron. All you have to do is at least put $1 in a month. And if you can't afford $1, you can do a penny a month. I'm serious. You can actually, let me show you real quick. You can go to the Patreon page, okay? See where it says $1 a month? You just highlight that. 0.01. I am serious. You can put a penny a month. If that's all you can afford, if that's all you can do, then do it. I want to see that number 17 go up. We have loads of you guys. Right now, there are 45 people watching in the chat room right now. I would love to see 45 people say, I'm going to put a penny a month towards Minecraft Me. Can you do a penny a month? I have pennies in my coin jar right here that could cover the whole entire year. 12 cents. And Nick SPNT in the chat room also reminds, if you're watching us live, that live stream that is ad-free comes from this as well. So I'm not going to talk about this anymore, okay, for the rest of the show. I might remind you about the URL at the end. But really, really consider jumping on board and supporting us, because when you do that, it lets us know that you support what we do. Okay? So, Joe, state of the Minecraft Me show. One of the big things that a lot of people want to know is the server. Now, we talked about spring. The first day of spring, we would move to possibly a new map, a new version. Spring is just around the corner. What, from your perspective, how is the state of our server? Is the state of our server strong, as taking a quote from the president? The state of our union is strong. What is the state of our server, Joe? And what are we going to expect going forward?
Well, the big thing is, and I know a lot of people have talked about it, a lot of people have asked about it, is the server is running 164, and 174 is available. 175? 174.
Yep.
1.7 something is available. And pretty much all the plugins have updated to that. I've been hesitant to upgrade the server to 1.7 because the thought was when we move to 1.7, it would be a new map refresh. Right. And with 1.8 being right around the corner and 1.8 having additional map changes, in terms of the generator, it makes more sense to wait for the new map till then. So I think I'm going to work on this weekend over the next few days here,
all right,
upgrading the server to 1.7,
okay,
at least 1.7.4. And so that way we'll be up to current. We'll be ready to go. And then when 1.8 drops, we'll make 1.8 dropping and the supported plugins for that dropping being the new map time.
Got it.
So now it's not on us anymore as much.
Fair enough.
Now it's going to be on Mojang. So instead of emailing me and asking me when the server's going to be updated, email Notch and ask him when I'll be updating the server or something. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go ahead and update the server to 1.7. That way we'll get the current version of Minecraft that's out there. We won't have too many of the new blocks. I'll do new resource maps, so we will have them there. But the new map, the map itself will stay the same as it is right now. And we'll see a new map with 1.8, hopefully in a couple of months, I'm hoping.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a quick summary and recap. Joe's going to work on 1.7.4 this weekend.
Yes.
If all goes well, you may magically notice that when you try to connect, you need to be on 1.7.4, which is good. Then the next thing is the server map wipe will not occur until 1.8 officially drops, and then the plugins that we use are supported. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And I think I'll also take this opportunity to add in our creative world.
Yes.
So those of you who have sponsored on Patreon, so I said you said we weren't going to you said you weren't going to mention it anymore, but I am. Those of us who supported on Patreon,
technically okay.
Those of us who supported on Patreon at that $5 level and above, you will be getting access to build to your heart's content in the creative world. We're going to have plots set aside, ready to go for everybody who's there. It will be first come, first serve, but nevertheless, you will have those plots available, and you can build anything you want, whatever you want.
And it's protected, too. That's the most important thing.
Oh, yeah, totally
it's very protected. Yeah.
It's actually a really cool system. It pre-lays out roads, pre-lays out the plots. It does everything for us, so all you got to do is go in there, you run a command to claim the space you're in, and boom, you start building. That's it.
Sweet. And what's the cool ETA on that?
I'm going to get the plugin installed this weekend. We may not have it unlocked for people to use because we got to build some sort of a spawn thing in the middle of it.
Right.
So it may not be unlocked for people to use right away, but it will at least have the plugin available and ready to go, and we'll be able to start issuing building permits pretty quickly.
Cool. So sweet. All right. So we covered that. And now what I'm going to do is hopefully this works out very, very well here. I'm going to I have moved into the town hall on our TeamSpeak server, and so here is how it's going to work. Very simply, I'm going to turn it actually over to Lucky, our moderator, in the chat in the TeamSpeak, and because she has an order of who we're going to call on first. And actually, let me jump in here. So right now, I don't hear them. They are muted from my neck of the woods. So right now, they are actually hearing me saying that I'm about to go to them. The next voice that I'm going to introduce is Lucky. Lucky's going to tell me who's going to speak, who's our virtual line, if you will, and we'll go from there. So hopefully this works, because this is all technology, right? And it's running XP. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so Lucky, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Hey, Lucky. Thanks for doing this and stepping up to the plate. Really appreciate it. So who's the lucky number one? Who is at the head of the line and has got the first question or statement to share?
Well, we've got Carl's friend first.
All right. Well, Carl's friend, welcome to the town hall.
User joined your channel.
Thank you.
You are stepped up to the mic and go for it.
So my question was, would you consider doing a mod spotlight, like something similar to like Attack of the B Team just released, and it would be really cool to see some of those mods spotlighted.
Oh, all right. For a minute there, I thought you were talking about our moderators. You're actually talking about Minecraft mods, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anytime involves mods, I kind of need to defer to Joe a little bit because there's some server setup that usually tends to need to take place sometimes, right, Joe? Or
well, it depends. It depends on what kind of mod we're talking about, server or client-side mods. I like the idea of a mod spotlight. I think it's a good one, and it's one we sort of teased around a little bit in the past. The problem is we need to reach the point where I think Chase, I think you and I need to make a decision about this. We need to come up with a couple of,
hold on.
different.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Joe. They hear you on the stream, but they don't hear you. I just realized this. I didn't send
You're not pushing me to TeamSpeak.
I didn't push you to TeamSpeak. So stand by. Let me do
Okay.
that. Go ahead and continue your thoughts, and I will work on that.
Anyway, so what I was saying is we need to talk about this and really decide how we want to segment the show in terms of, right now we have some very specific segments and we pretty much do them every week. What we really should do, I think, is have a pool of maybe 7 or 8 different kinds of segments. And this week we do this one. This week we do that one. I have a couple that are always there, probably email messages and server showcase or news or something like that. But swap out the other pieces as we see fit and as we need them. And I think that I think 2 of the ones that are really good for that are both the texture packs, because we don't really need to do texture packs every week. It's not like new ones are coming around all the time, but it's not like there's massive changes all the time in those. And mods, I think, is another really good segment that we could add into that pool. So that's what I think the direction we should maybe go with that is sort of come up with ideas that we steal from every episode, where we I don't know if we want to say roll the dice, but we at least pick segments that we're going to cover in a given episode. So that way we're not running these episodes out to like 3 or 4 hours long, where we're trying to cover every single little thing that we talk about.
Cool. And another thing too, I think to kind of build on what you said, Carl's, is that maybe we compile a list in the forums, and maybe because I don't think all mods are going to be very easily to show or
it's going to depend a lot on the mod. And like I said, we need to make a clear differentiation between client side and server side mods. Client side mods are fantastic, and there's some really, really cool ones out there. Some of them require server side support, so really there's 2 parts to it. And then there's a lot of server side mods that are really, really cool, but you have to either set up your own server or find a server that runs that mod. So some of those are sort of hard to demo, but I really do like the idea of showing off some of those different mods, and especially the client side ones. Like I said, I think some of those are really cool, and there's some really, really cool stuff coming up with 1.8 in that direction.
Totally.
Some of the stuff that's been shown out there, people figuring out how to do. One of the really, really cool ones is doing 3D 2D objects. That doesn't make any sense, but they're figuring out how to make objects that are currently 2D sprites in Minecraft actual 3D objects in the next snapshot. So really, really cool stuff. So I think a lot of that we're gonna start hitting into, and I really do look forward to that.
Well, hey, Carls, thanks so much for the question. Really do appreciate it, and thanks for watching the show.
Thank you.
All right, Lucky, who's next?
Well, the next question I had submitted was Rapnit, and he actually has a few suggestions for us.
All right, Rapnit, welcome to the mic, and what's going on?
Your channel.
I need to turn off the notifications if I can do that. But go ahead, Rapnit.
So when we were talking prior to the show, we were talking about some different options, and one of the things that I didn't bring up was doing donations in game, potentially for like Bycraft as a mod.
The one thing that we've talked about on the show a few times is we didn't want the server to become an area where people that have money are able to kind of get themselves a better experience than those who maybe can't afford to do that. So that's why, for example, with the Patreon, people can donate and they can get themselves a creative plot. That's an optional thing. It doesn't affect the main server in any way.
And it's not in the main world. It's in a whole separate area where other people can visit, but it's not connected to the main world. So they don't get an advantage in the main overworld map.
Did you have and you said you had some other questions there, Rapnit?
So Feed the Beast server, one that's been coming up for a long time. Is there any possibility that that's going to happen?
I will defer to server administrator Joseph Falby for that question. Joe, you have the floor.
It's the same answer I've given for the last 9 months on Feed the Beast server.
Next week. It's going to happen next week.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's coming up.
So yes, I still would like to set up a Feed the Beast server. I had a test server running for a while that some mods were on, and it was working okay. The biggest hitch with Feed the Beast is there's no straightforward way to do grief prevention type sections where you can divide up the area. So I'm not entirely certain how we're going to end up handling that. And really it's a question of time and dedicating time and resources to doing it. I still really would like to set up a Feed the Beast server. I think Feed the Beast is fantastic, and the few times that I've played it, and I know a bunch of our mods are playing it all the time and really, really have a good time with it.
Yeah.
But it is mostly a giant time sink for me right now. So I really would like to do it.
I have a counter
we
suggestion.
will get one set up. It's just a time thing.
Now, I have a counter suggestion. Maybe not a counter, but maybe another suggestion to add into that. Obviously, Joe, you handle a lot for us already on the show, especially on the server side of things. I mean, you're the man when it comes to that. Like, just like I wouldn't ask you to do any video editing for the show, you wouldn't ask me to do any server administration for the show. It's it's kind of those things. Maybe we can try a whitelist thing where maybe a server administrator that is, it's a Geek Gamer TV Minecraft Me Feed the Beast server, but it's on someone else's box, as long as they're willing to be the head administrator for that box. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. We've talked about a whitelisted server in the past. Feed the Beast has a little higher requirements than regular vanilla Minecraft does, of course. It largely depends on what plugins you have onto it.
Right.
I don't see a big issue with having someone else host it for us. I think we still end up raising the question of how exactly we control access to it.
Right.
The whitelist idea is great, but people who, for whatever reason, aren't put on the whitelist and think they should be will inevitably complain, and vice versa. There could be people who end up on the whitelist who maybe shouldn't be. So it's a really, really, really hard thing to balance. And Chase, I know it is, and people who are out there listening and watching this, these are some of the things that go through my head on a regular basis when it comes to this stuff. Is we need to. It's really easy to say, yes, I can just install the server. I mean, it's really not that hard to set up a server. We've done episodes on it.
Maintenance.
Download the Feed the Beast stuff, run it, hit go, and let it play itself.
Let it roll. Yep.
The problem is you end up with a lot of drive-by griefing. We had a lot of problems with that with the server initially when it launched, 2 years ago, however long ago it was. And the same thing is true with Feed the Beast. Feed the Beast is probably worse for that sort of thing because of how many add-ons you can do to it, how many extra things can be on there.
Not Doctor, but Icon Z1 in the chat room says, thinks that having more than one server is going to dilute the audience. I actually fully disagree, because the audience is, if they want to play Feed the Beast, we don't have an outlet for them. And so they're going to go away anyway. If we can give them an outlet that stays within our family, I think that's a benefit. That's much better.
Because I think ultimately what will keep, and I've seen this in the LAN community too, what keeps a LAN community or what keeps a server together isn't what's available. It's the people who are around it. You tend to get relationships and make relationships with people that you spend a lot of time around. And if you spend a lot of time with people on a server in Minecraft or anything else, those are the kind of people that you probably want to stick around, and those people that you want to stick around. Well, if you decide, well, I want to go over to Feed the Beast, and there's no way to take those people with you within that group, that may drive you to another server entirely. So keeping people, so to speak, within the family or within the group is really the goal. The ideal is, I think Chase, you and I both agree on this. The ideal is to make a welcoming, friendly environment that everybody can have fun in. And whether that fun is Feed the Beast or whether that fun is vanilla Minecraft
or creative or
creative mode or
survival
whatever.
games
I think,
or whatever.
That's the audience we're trying to reach, is the people who understand what a good group is and can be contributing members to that group.
Yeah. No. Well, hey, Rapnet, I know you may have more thoughts or questions, but because of time constraints and we got a lot of people, I'm going to have to move on. But thank you for the questions.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And if you have more, please submit them into the forums or via email. Don't just think like I don't want to hear the rest. Okay.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Lucky, who do we got next?
Mr. Steve McMinecraft.
Ah, yes, our good chat.
Hey, Chase, before he asks, can you turn up my balance for that channel? Because I can barely hear it.
Sure, I can definitely do that. Steve, go for it.
My question is about the future of GeekGamer.tv in relation to content. What new shows will be available on GeekGamer.tv? Not just like Geek Gamer Retro or, like, are we going to see like the return of AppView or maybe Geek Gamer Pinball?
Great questions. This is a question for me now. Joe's like, yes.
Time. I'm just going to sit back.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, with an asterisk. Okay. And the asterisk is right now, if you guys have been following me directly, and by the way, yes, this is my cat. She decided to sneak in, and now she's acting cute and all furry and stuff. She's very cute.
Mm-hmm. She's going to start moving the sliders.
Yeah, she's like, stretch out her legs and just push everybody up. A lot of you guys know I'm looking for work right now. And as much as I love creating all this great content, that content comes at a price and at a time as well. And it's one of those things where I need to try to add content back in and create content that could fit into a schedule potentially when I get a new job. Now, granted, I love to do this full time, but I'm not generating enough income to do that. So, to answer your question, Steve, as far as things coming back, Geek Gamer Weekly is coming back. It's going to come back on Sundays in April, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a little bit earlier. So we can get a little bit more of that East Coast audience. It's going to be more gaming-centric. As much as I love talking to tech, I think it's confused a lot of people watching the show saying, hey, I tune into your show and I'm thinking you're going to talk more gaming. So there's that. The other thing I'm also going to bring back or kind of make officially a show, but it's only going to be YouTube and website only, not downloadable through iTunes or anything, is Cut to the Chase, where I'm going to talk on a topic once a week for about 5 to 10 minutes, just kind of giving you my thoughts about, say, Titanfall as a great example for that, and maybe showing some gameplay associated with what I'm talking about. So there's those two things. AppView was kind of like a pilot, so to speak, and I kind of want to reformulate that a little bit. And then the retro stuff, I do see that happening. I want to bring somebody in that's local to me so we can kind of do a casual, we kick back, we're playing some games, and then we talk about it. It's really hard to do certain games retro style and having to try to set it up emulation and make that sync up. It's very, very difficult to do over the web. So I hope that answers those questions. Did I get those for you, Steve?
They were all right. It's satisfactory.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the question, Steve. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to go back to Lucky. Lucky, who we got next?
Well, I was gonna pull Gradrock up next, but it looks like he's AFK, so...
I don't think he is.
Never mind, he's back.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, so Gradrock, by the way, a Patreon supporter. Thank you for being a supporter. And you're actually, I think you're Patreon #1. You actually signed up.
I think he signed up before it was officially announced, right?
That's right. He kind of he snuck in there. But
sneaky like a ninja.
Yeah. So Gradrock, what do you got on your mind?
Well, I've got a couple of things, but I'll bring up my first one right now, and if there's time later, I'll bring up the other one. Basically, my first one was, and you kind of mentioned it with this last one, was would you ever consider doing some more regularly scheduled Let's Play type shows, and focus only on the gameplay, the co-op, and so on, kind of like what you've been doing with BF4, but more with other types of games and regularly scheduled, not just, whenever you have time.
Do you mean
Just
scheduled as in scheduled release times, you mean, or scheduled for live times?
Scheduled live times, probably. I mean, you could do release times, but yeah, I was thinking
User in your
actual
channel
live
timed
times so
out.
people could join in, and especially the co-op games. You could get a bunch of people,
User
and
entered
if
your
it's on a
channel.
regular schedule, maybe you could get more audience members if they know the schedule is coming.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I want to. I'm really honestly caught between a rock and a hard place on some of these things, because I don't want to commit to a time and then severely disappoint people. Well, I know they wouldn't be fully disappointed to know that I got a job, but fully disappointed to the fact that I can't continue doing certain things because I got a job, if that makes sense. And the other thing too is, and I'm going to be perfectly honest and frank, I'm not sure what people want to see as far as me doing a Let's Play, for example, of, all right, I'm going to play Euro Truck Simulator 2. Okay. And there are people that do that. They already do Let's Plays on that. There are people who do Let's Plays on every game, of course. But what would you want to see from me? I'm just curious.
Well, I haven't really thought about that. I mean,
Okay.
there was another Twitch show that I had been watching. I won't mention it, but he plays mainly strategy type games. One of the ones that turned me on to him was he was playing Banished, but he just doesn't have the presence that you do. I mean, you do a great job
Thanks.
with the show and
Yeah.
stuff. So you know how to talk to your audience members and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it all he was doing was simply just sitting there. He had some guys on TeamSpeak that was talking about the game, and he was just simply playing the game, and that was about it. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not outside the realm. I've actually, I've been doing more and more YouTube content, and also content for the website, because when I post to YouTube, it's going to go onto the website, so it's going to go hand in hand, and I think that'll work out well. And I think, if certain things work out the way that I hope they do, I might be able to set a time aside where I start setting a schedule to myself, a schedule for things. And, it's a big commitment. It's a huge commitment, but one I'm willing to give a shot if people are going to be there to support me. And when I say support, it doesn't have to mean financial. I mean, just be there. It sucks to do a live stream and there's nobody watching. Last night I was doing Battlefield 4, and it capped out on 4 people watching. And it was myself and 2 other guys, so I think we were all just watching our own stream. So, but yes, I want to do more of that. I love doing that. I really do. And I think that'd be great to continue to do and do streams and stuff. So awesome. Well, thanks, Radrock. Thanks for the questions, man, and statements. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thanks for being number 1 on Patreon. Yeah, number 1.
Number 1.
You always will be number 1. You've locked that in forever. So congrats. All right, Lucky. You're a star. Why do I always think of Britney Spears now when I ever say your name? But Lucky, you're up.
Oh boy, Chase.
I know.
All right. The last question that I have submitted here currently is from Crazy Happy 1011.
All right, Crazy Happy
Yay.
1011, which calls in on the Skype line from time to time. Hey, Crazy Happy, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. What? I was going to ask you about, like, mod spotlights, but then, Carl's friend took that from me, so I actually have another question.
Go for it.
What do you think about doing, like, super revisits? Like, where your first day in just completely revisiting that in high definition, explained detail. What do you think of that?
So, yeah, you bring up an interesting point, and that is like the first, what was it, 50, 60 episodes were all standard def, low quality, had its own little retro-ish feel to it, of course. And going back and revisit them. And we have that in our show notes or ideas document. We have an ideas document. And I don't know how you feel about it, Joe. I mean, part of me likes that, and part of me doesn't like that.
well, we did a first day revisit, and we brought
With
somebody
John.
new into it.
Yeah,
Remember, we
yeah.
brought John into it. And I don't see why we couldn't do other revisits, not necessarily first day. Since I think we've got that covered pretty well. I honestly think we have. Most people seem to get the idea of first day now. But one thing we haven't done in a while is gone back to the Nether and really done a whole lot there.
Have we even seen the Nether in high def? I don't think
we have. Yeah.
Nope.
So
Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
server creations and stuff like that, where we visited the Nether briefly.
Yeah.
So so I kind of like the idea of going back and doing some of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe doing a few episode focus on stuff in the Nether or even the end.
Yeah.
My cat's trying to jump up
I know,
on my desk too, but he hit his head.
Timberwolf is chatting at me. And please, by the way, you guys, if you're in TeamSpeak, try not to send me messages because those dings are showing up on the audio. But the problem, it's not really a problem, but the one thing we have to worry about with trying to get John back is to get John back. He's got to travel here and be here in the studio. I can't really bring him remote gameplay wise. That's kind of the neat thing about having John here. I can tap into the video on his system. So, but yeah, no, I like that. I also like the fact about going back and looking at revisited items and, maybe going over newer mining methods and going through the Nether and going into the end again in high def and things like that. I could definitely see those. The only thing is those are usually just one-off shows, right? They're not changes of how we maybe do the show going forward. And that sort of thing, and what I'm kind of wanting to hear back as well. But cool. All right.
You could try out maybe hunger management.
That's a good one. When you're low on fuel or food.
Fuel works too.
Yeah, totally. Well, no, those are some great ideas, Crazy Happy. So awesome, man. Well, thanks for the questions. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. And so, Lucky, I think you said there was no other questions. Was there anybody else that had anything that they wanted to say, like in the line, so to speak?
Not that I've been made aware of. Everyone else just wanted to hang out and listen.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Well, that's great. What I'm going to do now is if they want to continue listening, I'm going to exit the channel. And the only reason why is I'm still getting TeamSpeak sounds, and I even though I muted them in the client. So if they want to continue watching, they'll have to jump right back to the stream to do so. So thanks, you guys. Thank you, Town Hall Trust in the TeamSpeak. Much appreciated. So now...
disconnected.
I just disconnected.
See, that wasn't a true political town hall, though.
What do you mean? What we're responsive?
Well, we didn't plant all the questions beforehand.
Oh, bum.
Sorry.
All right. So now what we're going to do is the other trust that we go to is these guys right here, the people in the chat room, and they've been submitting questions to the show, all show, and even before the show. And so now I'm going to throw them back to you guys, or actually, Joe and I are going to chew on them. And this first question, we actually have a couple from Sky Traveler. First one is, Sky Traveler says, do segments in Minecraft Me where we can be with you guys. As in, we can play with you, maybe do more play it segments on the pub server and involve the viewers. So that is a little hard. And here, there's a few reasons for that. First, last time we tried something to do on the pub server and a lot of people found out, the chat was going a mile long. People were trying to interfere with what we were trying to do because they wanted to be in front of the camera, so to speak. Yeah. And that doesn't really do good. It doesn't do good for anybody.
If we could do one, if we could do an episode like that with other people there, but everyone understood that they need to be like the Top Gear in studio audience in the background, not being distracting.
Unless Jeremy calls on you.
Just, yeah, exactly. Unless Jeremy says, you know,
Any
where are all
Americans
the
here?
Americans? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unless you're specifically called
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Then I think we could probably do some, but it's hard because
And while I understand some of you, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, go ahead.
People get all excited, about the prospect.
Yeah.
So it's, and I understand. I totally understand that and understand the reaction. And I'm not holding it against anybody. Don't worry about that. It's just that's the way it works.
Now, one thing though, we did do, and as you probably noticed for our Olympics episode, we brought in John. We also brought in was a DX with us as well, right? Was it DX?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Doug, yeah.
So we brought in Doug, and it was us four, and that worked out very well. We just gotta we just can't pull people at random. Because we really need to know, A, your audio quality. We need to know people be able to understand you. And then B, we need to know that you're not going to go off during a live show and totally disrail everything. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we don't have John very often. He's really hard to control sometimes.
So there you go. Sky Travel also asks, how about if someone on the server has a build, Joe and Chase can help build and record it for the show? I kind of like that. The only thing is, obviously, we would need to know about it, and then what would the show be? Just us building with somebody, and just
I guess it would just be a let's play. I mean, just a continuous play segment. I don't know that that's a good segment for the regular show, but that would be something more like you were talking about with Battlefield or that sort of thing. Something that could happen every once in a while.
Right.
But it's also really hard in Minecraft, at least for me, to let someone else work on a project I'm in the middle of.
Yeah. Because
I have the vision in my head as to how it's going to look, and that may differ from what the other person has.
Right. Yep.
And what like when we built the arena, we had a coordinated team, we had a lot of organization behind that. That really is what makes a multi-user, multi-person project like that work really well.
I like that, and that's where possibly we may have a major format change of the show and how we do things, and that could lend into that where we have one show this week is traditional format, and then the following week is a new format. I mean, that's the cool thing about this kind of content. It doesn't have to be the same, as long as I'm keeping the patrons happy, because they're the ones that ultimately are paying the bills here. And this is where, I'm going to create a video for just the patrons, and I want to hear from them, because really it comes down to those people who want to see the show as it is. I want to make sure that they're happy. So now we got this question from this guy by the name of Jahuckabee. I think it's pronounced Jahuckabee. And the question is, remember that time when Chase flew around the pub server and spawned mobs for the viewers to kill? That was so incredibly fun. Please do more things like that. Set up arenas for the viewers to play and have Joe spawn mobs and Chase fly around recording it. I like that. That's a great idea.
It was kind of entertaining. They never lasted very long.
No, they don't, because they all just went and they all attacked.
Even relatively big, powerful mobs tend to go pretty quickly.
They were gone because
everybody 30 guys all bashing on them.
Yeah, because they're ready to go. They're just they're ready to take it down. So yeah. Now this suggestion, by the way, this question, not really a question, but more of a suggestion, and I think this is brilliant. I like this one. Sky Traveler also came back and said, "Hey, how about if Chase and Joe give us a challenge? Then see who did it the best after, say, a week or a month." I kind of like that. Where we say, all right, build your best X. And then they have to build their best whatever. And then we go and review it in a month or week or whatever. I kind of like that. I like challenges like that. Those are cool. What do you think, Joe?
That's a good idea. We'd have to come up with some ideas, or we'd have to get suggestions from the from viewers on
I say
what
we can
to
get
have people build.
I say we can get the ball started, and then then have people submit ideas.
We also have
as they
to
come.
decide how we want to judge stuff like that.
True. We would have to come up with like figure skating, a 12-point scale. We'd have to have judges from all over the world.
Or community-based judging. We could have, this is what you need to build. In 1 month's time, we review what they have. We cut it out and move it somewhere where they can't make any changes to it. Right? Because otherwise people will keep working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a week or 2 weeks, have a public voting session on which one everyone likes the best.
Right.
That way we won't be accused of any
bias
or non-impartiality.
Right. Icon Z1 asks, can a specific area of the pub server be set up to allow for PvP? We're just quiet.
The question of PvP has come up a few times.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Like, we can't say that we don't like it because we do survival games, which is ultimately PvP.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know about setting up a PvP area. We'll have to think about that and discuss that. So that there are some extra ramifications to PvP that I don't know if that's what we want, but there may be some alternatives that would work instead. The hard part is balancing the desire for PvP, which I understand, totally get, and especially like the instant thought that runs through my head is, well, instead of PvP, what if we set up a Survivor Games arena that's just open to the public? Anybody can go in there and start, if you have at least 2 or 3 people, you can start your own match and PvP to each other all day long. So I don't know. There's some questions about that. The problem and who asked this question? Was it Ali Blaster who asked this question?
No, it was Icon Z1, but also Ali Blaster's bringing up the chat. But Icon Z1.
So yeah, he's bringing up some. Ali Blaster's bringing up. I don't know, he or she. They are bringing up some good points. In the resource maps about making the resource map PvP. We made a conscious decision at the beginning to not allow the resource maps to be PvP because although they are the Wild West, there's no claims. We still didn't want to run into the issue of so-and-so killed me and took all of my stuff or that sort of thing. So I guess we could, and then Rapnit, of course, brings up now you can have inventory save on so that even when you die, you don't lose all your inventory. So yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting possibilities there. I'm not opposed to the idea of a PvP in a arena or a PvP area. It's just the implementation of that is something that is going to require some thought out preparation.
Fair enough.
So,
well, and I'll say this. Even if we may never implement it fully in the server, I do like the one-off special events that we do for survival games. Those are fun. Yeah. Those will not stop. Those will continue. And I like having special events. Those make it special. But sometimes having a constant PvP environment can cause different vibes. And I want to be careful about that. Timberwolf has a question. How big the plots will be in the creative world? They're going to be 1 by 1.
Yep.
Moving on.
Actually, I don't know for sure
yet.
Just
kidding.
That's a good question to ask.
We haven't decided. Yeah.
Haven't officially decided yet. They can be pretty much anything. But yeah, I will. I will. They will be at least. I'm going to say they're going to be at least a few hundred by a few hundred. So it's not like you're going to have a 10 by 10 space. Square.
Yeah.
You will have some pretty good space to play on. So don't worry too much about that. But it probably won't be like, a couple thousand by a couple thousand because that's a bit silly.
Totally.
Just saying.
Yeah, very silly. Yeah. Ali Blaster writes in and says, hey, how about a tech day where you show off automated farming, redstone, a moment of tech, in-depth instructions on how to build automated doors, maybe even a guest builder to show build techniques, design ideas, and furnishing buildings. I like guest builder stuff. That's one thing I really, really want to do. We kind of chatted about that I want to say months ago. But I have the capability to bring people in via remote. And we can bring them in voice only. They don't have to be videos nice, but not necessary. And they can show us some of the things how they do and how they go through their design processes and share them with the community. I think that would be really, really cool. When you say go back and talk about automated farming and redstone and stuff, we've done those episodes, so those will really just be kind of a revisits, if you will. But yeah, I like that. What do you think, Joe?
Oh no, I like the idea of having a. I love some of the redstone contraptions. I don't have a whole lot of time, unfortunately, to just dig into those, but I do really enjoy some of those, and I like the idea of having every once in a while having a segment that's advanced something, and whether that's more advanced farming than we already talked about. A good example is, we just did iron farms last week. Well, there are methods to increase the output of those things by massive amounts, and it'd be really cool to be able to do an episode showing some of those things off and showing how to build that sort of thing. So I like the idea of going more in depth to previous things we've done. But it's not something. It's not something that's like super vital right there. I really think we should do it, but I'm again, we're gonna have to talk about it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where we can kind of the cool thing is we have the technology to bring people into the show and show off their things. We've done that before. And where there's something so advanced, like in the Redstone arena, better than having Joe having to set that all up. We can just say, all right, Mr. X, show us what you did here. And it's really advanced.
Yeah.
And that's a segment, But I know a lot of you guys like that stuff too. And that's where
and I love it too.
It's cool.
I watch YouTube videos online of people building their little literally their little computers and stuff like that in Redstone. They're slow. Trust me, they're slow. But I love seeing that stuff go. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Gradrock writes in and says, hey, I had another question about making quick short segments to YouTube about common topics covered in the show, like getting on the server, redstone building, and so on. I think that's a no-brainer. I think that, something quick and easy, I don't even have to involve Joe. I can just say, here's how you join our server. And it's a simple instructional video that's 7 hours long. No, I'm just kidding. It's one of those things you'd watch in high school, right? Here's Chase trying to get onto the server. Here he is clicking on this button. Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I know I'm probably gonna have to watch this episode again just to write down all the ideas that we're getting today. But yeah, no, that's a great one. And then last one coming in from Rapnet. Saying a moderator spotlight to let people know who they are. And actually, I've been compiling this, and this is one of those things on my long to-do list. But in the forums, I've asked all the moderators to give me a current list of moderators and maybe their first name and where they're from, so people can kind of know, or time zone at least. And then that would be on the website, so people can know who officially the moderators are, and that sort of thing. So cool. That. For an impromptu town hall, if you will, that takes care of all the questions. And by the way, if you're watching us live, we're not going to go away immediately when the show's over. I know we'll hang out for a while in the chat, and we'll converse with you further. One final reminder I wanted to let you guys know about, of course, is our Patreon. I said I was going to do it at the end of the show, so I'm not lying to say that I'm not doing this anymore.
Actually, big news on the Patreon. You should refresh that.
I should refresh?
You should refresh that.
Whoa, we got a couple more. Look at that.
We got 3 more just during this show.
Yes,
so that's fantastic.
That is awesome. So we're up to 20.
We're up to 20, and look at how close we are to that first milestone goal.
Now,
that is really fantastic.
Now, I will put an asterisk on it. The Aziz Light is going to change. It will. I might just keep it Aziz Light, but instead of putting that money towards audio video upgrades, I'm putting that to where. Well, it's nice to update Joe. The pressing need is money towards the server. It's money towards the show because our sponsorship's going to run out soon. So. That money is going to go to that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it halfway there or halfway to server payment or whatever. I'll come up with something neat.
Yeah.
But yes, we are almost at our first. The amount won't change. The goal will. But thank you. But really, all you got to do is, if you can, 1 penny is okay. Even a penny. Seriously, every penny matters. Patreon.com/Minecraft. And the great thing about this, the best thing about this, honestly, is all we have to do, Joe, honestly, is make sure that those 20 patrons are happy. I know you guys in the chat room. I know you guys are cool. All of you guys are cool. But really, it's those 20 that decided to step up to the plate and support us and keep things going. But if you can't support us financially, share the link with your friends and family. Tell people about it in forums, on YouTube comments that that they like you. Just make sure you share it around. Because really that's how we're going to help grow this thing and keep it sustainable. So it's really appreciated. Patreon.com/Minecraft. I want to say a big thanks. I mean, thanks is not enough. I mean, this guy is awesome. I mean, not only he works very, very hard at work, and he works hard doing LAN parties for PDX LAN, which, by the way, sold out their next LAN party in record time, all-time record.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised at how fast it went. I couldn't believe it.
I'm just...
I turned around and was like, wait, it sold out?
Completely amazed. This guy does it all. He does the network administration for PDX LAN. He does network administration for for a city in Oregon. But not only that, but he does the network administration for the Minecraft server. So this guy's awesome. Joe, thank you, man. Seriously, I can't say enough.
It's always fun.
Yes. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter at Nunes, Nunes. Follow the network on Twitter at GeekGamerTV. There's always something cool happening on the website. I recently had a chance to be on Twit last Friday for the second time. I was on with Padre Robert, Father Robert Balliser, who does a lot of different shows over there at Twit, and he does something called Padre's Corner. It's not an official Twitch show, but he talks about various politics and geeky and technology things, and I was on his show last Friday. So I have that on the website at GeekGamer.tv if you didn't have a chance to check that out. We do the show Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern at live.geekgamer.tv. Keep an eye on our calendar because you never know when the schedule might shift, and we might do something during the day. So keep an eye on that. But you guys...
I think we should do one. Let's do, just before we're done, just see what's up. Let's do one more refresh on the Patreon.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna do one more refresh. Wait, no, we're not at the goal yet.
No. 99 cents short.
We're 99 cents short. we're not there.
Curse you and your 99 cents.
Curse
Chase.
me. We're not there. Oh, well. Oh, man. We're so close. Well, we're so close to the first goal. I'm gonna hit it one more time. No. All right, fair enough. We do the show Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern at live.geekgamer.tv. I did say that already. But thanks so much for joining us, you guys. We really do appreciate it. And don't worry, normal Minecraft action will return next week. I just wanted to hear from you guys this week because really, you guys are the ones who drive this show. Community is the number one thing that's important to us in this show. Honestly, if all I had was a webcam and a crappy $5 microphone, that's all we would do. But I'm going to do this one more time, Joe. Drum roll. We're there. I think someone just increased their donation. Awesome. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Gradrock says he added another $1.
That's right. There
number
you go.
one added another $1.
So now he's just going to have to keep that added $1 in there. So there you go. But thanks so much, you guys. Thanks so much, you guys.
That's awesome.
You guys have a great week. Have fun playing Minecraft. And for Mr. Joseph Falvey, I'm Chase Nunes. Keep digging.